So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet in 2025, how do these games pan out to be now versus when they came out holiday of 2022? Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 has came and gone, not gone, but it came out a couple weeks ago, and I was curious how Pokemon Scarlet and Violet would run because they said they were coming out with an upgraded version with the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I have to say, I played the base game when it came out, completed the base game, did not 100% the decks, and I played the first DLC down the line, didn't play the second one. At that point, I was kind of getting sick of the frame rate issues and all the problems. Now, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the upgrades going on in the games. We have 60 frames per second solid locked now. In docked mode, handheld feels like 60. I'm not really sure if it's 30 or 60, but it feels really smooth in handheld. It runs really well as well in handheld mode. But through the TV in the dock, I think the games run so well that the frame rate issues the games used to have made all the difference. Like, having the 60 frames changed my perspective of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, I don't love them, but with the 60 frames, they're actually really fun. I feel like they're more fun. I can actually have a lot more fun with them because I feel like they function as a game a lot more than they used to, Scarlet and Violet. Because the game's got a lot of hate at launch, and people were wondering for so long, why haven't they updated the game? Is it the hardware? Is it just the developers being lazy? Did they rush the game out too fast? What is going on here? Well, we never got any confirmation why the games were pushed out the way they were, and we never got an update on the Switch 1 for some reason. And some people say it's just the hardware, but I have a hard time believing that because Xenoblade and Tears of the Kingdom, the way those games run, there's no pop-in, there's no frame issues really that I know of. Games like that run just fine. So, the games on Switch 2, they run a lot better, and I can say the visuals are a bit better, but the games aren't visually impressive really. They didn't do a full from the ground up kind of upgrade for Scarlet and Violet. So, they look a little bit more improved for sure. The grass is a little bit nicer looking, and certain areas like the cities definitely are more colorful and vibrant, especially at nighttime when you're walking around the cities. You can tell the difference compared to the Switch 1 version for sure. But I can't say the 60 frames is what did it for me. That made me want to go through all the rest of the Pokédex, trying to 100% the decks, having fun playing Pokemon again. And I think that if you have a Switch 2 and you haven't played Scarlet or Violet, I think now I would say is the time to go ahead and check them out. Switch 1, I would say, don't really bother with it unless you feel like playing in 15 to 20 frames per second or seeing stuff. They're still popping, but it's better than it used to be. There's still tons of popping. I don't know. But when it comes to going through towns and stuff, everything is improved a lot better. Also, the online still isn't that great with it, I will say. The Terra Raid battles are fun, and I enjoy going back and doing those and getting rare candies and stuff to be able to upgrade and level up my Pokemon and stuff, and I think that's really cool. I think that's a lot of fun. But I will say that going back and revisiting Scarlet, because I have Scarlet, not Violet, it's worth your time if you have a Switch 2. It is. Because the games run nice and smooth now, and they're not broken anymore. And personally, I think they were kind of broken. They weren't really... Some people said they were unplayable in their eyes. I wouldn't say that they were completely unplayable, because I still enjoyed my time. It's just all the, I jump through the air, and then everything would go out of whack sometimes, and be like, dude, what the heck? While I'm playing, it was still fun, but revisiting, it gives you a whole different perspective on the game. Now, I don't really remember the story and all that. I was just out to have fun. I don't remember the stories for Pokemon, other than Legends Arceus, because the post-game was freaking sweet. I don't remember, the stories for Pokemon since, the X and Y era, and even then it's kind of vague. Sun and Moon stuff, don't really remember the island stuff. I get they were doing something different at the time with no badges, yada yada, whatever. But the older games definitely had those stories with characters that you actually really like loved, or like the villains like had their idea on what they had motivation per se. And then you have teams like Team Yell, Team Star, whatever, bunch of weird stuff. But that being said, if I had to recommend Scarlet and Violet, would I? On Switch 2, yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I've been playing them a lot, and I've gotten very addicted to where I want to complete all 3 Pokédex. I want to like do everything. I want to level up a bunch of my Pokemons and just make some teams. We'll reorganize my boxes. Even go through Pokemon Bank, or Pokemon Home. Bank is 3DS. Pokemon Home and go through my boxes from my other games and maybe even transfer some stuff over. I don't know. My Pokemon Sword, I realized when I looked at Pokemon Home, I have like a lot of really good stuff in there. Some of the stuff might have actually even been from my 3DS days. I have a lot of stuff I think I transferred over. It's pretty nuts. But that being said, the video is not about like me with Pokemon, but it is about my experience and if I recommend you going back to these games. And the answer is yes. If you have not booted up Scarlet or Violet yet on your Switch 2 and you have the game, or you are unsure on playing it now because you didn't like it back when it came out on the Switch 1, I think you should give it another shot. I really do. I think that they are really actually smooth now and playable, and I think you will actually have some fun with it now. They're not the best Pokemon games or anything, and the soundtrack is kind of not memorable, but they're a little more fun now, you know. I have more hope for Legends ZA because Arceus was really good. That game was awesome, and it changed my perspective of it's one of my favorite Pokemon games in a long, long time. And Legends Arceus, it just, I'm hoping when they do Generation 10 that they mix kind of Gen 9 with an open world mixed with the style of Legends Arceus, and hopefully Legends ZA. We'll see what new kind of stuff they do in that versus Legends Arceus. I'm really excited for ZA only because I loved Arceus. Plus it's in the X and Y universe, and I really enjoy that universe just like I really enjoy Sinnoh, which is why I love Legend Arceus. If you have not played that, I highly, highly recommend it for sure. But that being said, guys, I mean, go give it a shot. Scarlet and Violet are actually pretty fun now. If you haven't played the DLC as well, I mean, go for like finishing the decks in the main game first or whatever, and then get the DLC. It's fun. It's fun stuff on the Switch too. You know, with the 60 frames, it's good stuff. It's fun. I mean, I was getting kind of bored when I was playing it on Switch 1, and for some odd reason, those frame rates, like the frames being smooth, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I love the tech of the Switch 2. Maybe I'm biased towards the Switch 2. I don't know. But I think that they're just so much better with 60 frames locked. I think they're just a lot of fun. I hope. Now, it's nice that Legends ZA is going to be locked at 60 frames. I love that. I'm very happy about that. But it's also a Switch 1 game. So I will say, you know, graphically and all that kind of stuff, I didn't expect anything crazy. But Generation 10, when that comes around, probably holiday of 2026, I really, really am hoping that it is Switch 2 exclusive and that graphically we get a bit of an upgrade. Because I feel like Pokemon is kind of behind on the graphics right now. I hope it's like they've been developing it for a while for the Switch 2. We'll see. We'll see what happens, you know. I mean, if you look at Pokemon Snap, the new Pokemon Snap, that's what I would love to see actual mainline Pokemon games look like. That would be awesome, right? You know, to see mainline Pokemon games look like new Pokemon Snap, because that game was beautiful in every way, in the way the Pokemon moved, their actions, the things they did, the interactions, like everything was super cool. And the world was just really alive, and that's what I want to see more of. I want to see the Pokemon world really like become more alive. But that being said, go check out Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2 if you have a Switch 2. If not, maybe down the line if you get a Switch 2, check them out. I think you'll enjoy it more on the Switch 2. I think that it's overall not too bad. So anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about here, because I've been meaning to talk about it, because I've been constantly playing Pokemon because it's just really fun now. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.